All right. Ian, we have a Patreon.
We do. You go to patreon.com/CU podcast. Sign up for some money to be taken from your bank account.
You make it sound so appealing, Ian.
So appealing. In exchange for the full video podcast.
It's a credit card.
The full video podcast. Every week. Hangouts. Once a month. I do writing once a week. You can participate in these poll topics.
Uh-huh.
What do we got this week, Patrick? What do we have?
It was a strong choice.
Strong choices.
47% do big video game releases get too much hype? And in first place, 53%. What Atari era games, so we'll say late 70s, early 80s, would you want to see a modern remake of?
Yars Revenge. I would love to see a new version of Yars Revenge. They did make a new Yars Revenge for it's on Steam. I think you can get it on PlayStation 4 and other systems as well. But it's a rail shooter. It plays like Panzer Dragoon Saga. It has nothing to do with the original, or Panzer Dragoon, not Saga. It has nothing to do with the original game.
Okay.
But the original Yars is one of my favorite original arcade games. Well, it was a console game, but arcade style and play, where you have to constantly hit a target on the right side of the screen, or chew away at it, and you do so by grabbing missiles and lining up your shots and avoiding, the like whirling blades and missiles that the other side sends at you. And there's this colorful bar of like static in the center that's kind of a safe zone, but if I remember correctly, you can't fire in there. Anyway, I love the game, and I'd love to see it
by our pal Howard Scott Warshaw. By the way,
it's an amazing.
He's my pal. I love Howard.
It's absolutely one of my favorite games. I would love to see that game updated to take place in like a small 3D space. I think that would be a lot of fun.
So you're shooting forward.
So kind of like over the shoulder.
Okay.
But instead of just on a side-scrolling 2D plane, do it in like a small box. And I think there could be some fun there.
When you think about, so many Atari games have been remade over and over again, or once in that era, Space Invaders, Centipede, Frogger, Warlords, Asteroids has been remade, tons of different Galaga and Pac-Man. You have to really sort of drill down for the deep cuts of what people would want to, what you would want to see a modern remake of that would translate over and not be too simplistic for back then.
Right.
So if you go on a list of Atari games, the ones that they actually made, you get outside of a couple of these, and like Warlords was just remade like within the past 10 years. I know I covered it at E3. Yars Revenge, Ian brought up.
What system?
It's just a PC thing, probably.
Oh.
It was like Atari's last gasp of doing, or they farmed out the games, things like that.
Yeah, no, this was around the time that the Yars Revenge came out too. They did a couple other ones that were not at all the same as.
What about a modern Stargate or Defender?
That would be fun.
You make it a little more simple, a little bit easier to rescue the little guys. Maybe you have it that you could pick some up without waiting for them to drop. That's the reason I hated the game, because I got nervous trying to shoot. I shoot them by accident when I was a little kid. At least playing the bootleg PC version. No, it was a real PC version of Stargate I had. That was colorful. Even with with CGA graphics. They pulled that off with the magenta, the green, and the yellow. They pulled that off. So yeah, I'm gonna say Defender, because I have not heard of a more recent Defender, but have they?
There
done
was one on the PS2.
The PS2.
There was one on the PS2.
Has there been a modern? We need a modern pole position, or we have so many racing games, I don't need pole position anymore.
No, you don't. And you look at some of the games that they did bring up and try to modernize, like in the PlayStation era, like they tried to do Pong. Hasbro tried to bring Pong back.
Oh yeah.
It's like, it was unnecessary.
I hate Joust. I don't want to see Joust.
You don't like Joust? No. Is Midway Williams, but
it's from the era.
Yeah, it's from the era. I prefer Balloon Fight anyway.
Yeah, Joust is rough. It's rough when you go back to play Joust. I can see why it was played at the time, but there's a reason why there wasn't all these. The Joust didn't become a thing. That was it. It didn't warrant its own pop song. Did it? Did Joust have one? Did Joust have a song?
No, I don't think so. I hope
kind
not.
Kind of hard to make ostrich eggs a song. at the time.
So besides Yars Revenge, the only other one that I could really think of that would be kind of fun would be Barnstorming. Granted, that's an Activision title, but it was on the Atari
era. We're
yeah.
the era. Yeah.
Barnstorming was the one where you had to fly through the barns, and that could be really fun as a simple 3D game.
Hey, Keystone Capers, modernize it. Make it a 3D game where you're running around.
I haven't played Keystone Capers in so long.
I just remember that being so fun because it was like one layer of complexity above the minimum.
Yep, exactly.
To make it, you can run around a shop like a mall or whatever.
No, that's exactly why I liked it too, and I think that's why a lot of people like it.
And different stage types and not just the same shit over and over again. Let me play, Billy. Let me play. Yeah, Keystone Capers was fun. That was that? Oh, that was 83. Okay, I thought it was 84. No, 83. That sounds about right. So once you got to 83, you unlocked the power of the 2600 6 years in, basically 5 years in.
I still think, and I always say it, but I really do think River Raid is a great game.
I was going to bring that up.
River Raid is a lot of fun. I like it. It's not like every other shooter. You look at it and it looks like a prototypical early overhead shooter, and there is some of that to it. But the thing that makes River Raid interesting is there's a lot of focus placed on navigating the winding canyons. So it's not, the edges aren't just there to keep you, in the center. It's part of the game is navigating through the twisty, turny canyons. And you can generally shoot, I think you can only shoot one missile at a time. So you have to aim your shots. You have to take your time and aim your shots.
It's a one-shot.
You can only have one shot on screen at a time. And there is a kind of modernized River Raid for the Switch that I've really enjoyed playing, and now I can't remember the name. It's
River Raid Remake.
It's like River Run on the Switch or something like that, but it's fun and kind of.
There was an Atari remake. Looks like
Bridge Strike is what it's called on the Switch.
Gotcha.
Highly recommended if you like that River Raid gameplay.
PS4 homebrew by Lappy Games. I'm looking at Keystone Capers gameplay. I totally forgot there was a mini map. We tried to, this is better. This is better than I remember.
Yeah, that's right.
So the robber's trying to get away, and it's on a mini map, and you have to track him down. And whatever this is, like a mall and avoid things. This is a better game than I gave it credit for. Looking at it, I want to play this. I'll play. You know what? A simple game like this would be like an app game, or like you could. There's got to be a remake of Keystone Capers. It's a simple little game. It's you have time. It's a time-based thing. You got to jump over objects and avoid objects, and you got to get the criminal in a certain amount of time. And you're an old-timey cop. Catching an old-timey criminal. Keystone. Any other ones, Ian, from the time?
Those are the ones.
That's it.
Well, I'm sure there are, but those are the ones that I really wanted to focus on.
You think Howard could do an ET remake?
Yes, he could. E.T. is not. E.T. is a game with problems because it was rushed. It's not a bad idea for a game. It wasn't like a horrible idea for a game.
There was a Keystone Capers remake.
Oh,
at least the graphics kind of look like elevator action, and they did an elevator action remake. They've done some of those. Did this come out? Remake gameplay. It's the same exact thing. You have different stages of mini map, and you track them down. Well, at least there's a proof of concept here of the game. So, all right, I'll do one more to bring us out. How about Pengo? When was the last time you had a Pengo game, Ian?
They recently put out a Pengo cabinet in arcades in Japan that has internet linking, I believe.
For the original?
Yeah, it's similar. I have to look it up.
For high scoring?
For playing, I think
or Battle Royale.
I think there was there was a recent Pengo game.
Okay. Is that the game where we're smoking the cigarette in the Master System?
No, that's Penguin Land.
It's Penguin Land. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'll put the picture somewhere. I remember I made a T-shirt of it once, or a picture of it.